I asked for the oil in the Civic so I could see what it looks like, and this is it. Look how dirty that is. Hey YouTube, welcome back to Born Again Motoring. Today is a good day. God is good as always. It's time for some maintenance, the first maintenance cycle on the Type R. Let's go. Before we do that, I think it would be cool to kind of show you something about the gauges here. I'm a big fan of gauges. Those of you that watch the channel constantly may know that from some of my shorts and things I've done in my other videos. But I wanted to show you some customization options that are on the Type R's gauge. So I've actually upgraded my camera hardware. This is my first time using the GoPro Hero 13. I upgraded from an 11. My 11 was getting a little bit old and it started overheating, so I decided to go with a 13, and I have an actual ultra-wide lens, or the actual branded ultra-wide lens. So let's see how this footage turns out. So let me show you the gauge options on the Type R for those that aren't as familiar. So right now I'm in individual mode, and I am utilizing the Plus R gauge cluster, which is my favorite. It's race inspired. It's often compared to the S2000 gauge cluster, but I think this is a little bit more aggressive. It's hockey stick style, but it sweeps across a little bit differently. If they put the speed in the middle, I would say that's more like the S2K, but the speed's all the way over to the right. But let's go into comfort mode, which is the least aggressive of the gauges. Now, one thing you'll notice is that, yeah, I mean, it's designed to not feel aggressive. It's not to be intimidating because you're in the comfort setting. So I imagine that if you connect, you know, your eyes to the feel of this, you want to have more of a relaxing kind of look here. So it's very simple. The red line is a little bit smaller, but here's one thing you can do with the safety features. If you press the cruise control button, it'll put the Type R in the middle there. You can see that, and it's actually a mirror image of your Type R. So if I brake, the brakes light up. If I put on my turn signal, the turn signal lights up. See that? Same with hazards. If I put my hazards on, the hazards will flash. Now, if I were to actually enable cruise control, it does kind of something similar like the Tesla does, where it'll show cars on the road, which is cool. But one thing that I haven't seen too many people do is they don't really rock the bar design. So if you put it in bar design, you see that now you have these sweeping gauges that go up for both speed and the RPMs, which is kind of cool. It gives the car a different feel. So that's something you can play with if you have a Type R. And what minimal will do is minimal will actually, when you put it in cruise control, it'll kind of make everything a little bit more simplistic. It kind of gives off EV vibes, if that's kind of your thing. But because I like the traditional style gauges, I rock this when I have it in comfort mode. As you can see, it said the gauges will hide. Sport is very similar to comfort, except it's red. It's more aggressive, and the red line actually grows a little bit thicker. It's just so you know that it's time to do some sporting. But kind of same thing. The bar does the same thing for sport. It's just going to be kind of red themed, like there's hints of red everywhere. Again, if that's your thing, but we're going to go with around minimal. And same thing, if you press the cruise control button, the car will be there or it'll disappear. So if you like that view, you can do that. Now, I always like to rock this gauge here. Gauges are your car's eyes. You spend time looking at them, especially if you don't have a heads-up display. Like in the Type R, we don't have a heads-up display. Integra Type S has a heads-up display. That's one benefit of it. But in the Type R, you're always looking at the gauges. So sometimes it's fun to play around with the customization, I believe, because it's what's feeding you information from the car, and it's nice to have something to look at. And so I think Honda and other manufacturers should recognize this more and come out with other options for customization. I would pay a subscription, or I would pay for different gauge designs that I could download. To be honest, if they offered that, I'm surprised that they don't. I think one of the major reasons is anytime you do a code change, you're introducing risk. You're introducing something that can cause a bug, and gauges they're not something that you want to necessarily play with and take risk on, because improper readings has all sort of legal implications. So these things are thoroughly tested. Even with that, there's still errors. There's still things that occur. And so, yeah, I think that's why they don't. But in Plus R mode, you don't have those customization options, but what you do have is if you put it in cruise control, it'll just kind of get rid of all of the info that's displaying all your temps and what have you, and it'll show the temperature down there. But I keep it like this so I can see everything at glance. So that's on the customization. Let's set out for a drive. The car is all warmed up. So for the first maintenance, Honda recommends an oil change when the indicator gets to 20%. My car is at 70%. And I've had it, I am at, I think 3,800 miles. To me, that's a little bit too long. I think Honda uses a special oil from the factory. And I've never been one to wait. I'm a 3-month oil change type of person, whether it's synthetic or not. I just like to keep the oil clean. I want to prolong the life of my engines, and it gives me the peace of mind. I know everybody has their own opinions on that. That's where I land. Somebody will probably get in the comments and tell me I'm wrong and my life's all messed up because I have certain preferences. That's fine. This car was delivered to the dealership in, I think, when I ran the Carfax, it was in September of 24, and it sat on the dealership lot until March of this year when I bought it, when I became the first owner. And so that means it's had its original oil for a long time, and then I drove it these last 4 months, and it's only hit 70%, and I'm close to 4,000 miles. I just don't feel right about that. So it's time to change the oil. Now the issue is Honda, they don't like to, because when you buy this car, you get in a maintenance package for free. I think the first 2 years are free. They don't want to change it until it hits 20%. And I don't agree with that. And I think that because they're offering you free maintenance, they push the timing out. So as I understand it, people are getting pushback from the dealership. And the dealership that I'm going to go to, I know the guy that works there, Tim, because he used to take care of my S2000. Hold on. Yeah, there it is. So he used to take care of my S2000, and he's also somewhat of a car guy, or at least used to be. So I'm sure he'll understand. The service advisor, I should say, Tim. And so we'll go there today. The appointment's made, and see what they tell me. I just read an article the other day that the K20 is the most reliable performance engine of all time. Now this is the C1 variant, it's turbo, but yeah, the K20 itself, it's tried and true. It's one of the older engines, but it remains reliable to this day. And so I guess you can trust Honda, but I don't like having old oil in my car. These things are expensive, and we got to take care of them. You know what I haven't done in a while? I haven't done a second gear pull. I'm gonna slow down. I want to do a second gear pull because in my last video I did a third gear pull. Let's see what this has got. Second gear. Let's go. Yeah, no torque steer. Front wheel drive doesn't matter, regardless of what the comments say. I don't have a tune on this yet. All I've done is I have the spoon filter, which is a Sprint filter. For those that want to jump on and say, oh, you could have just got the Sprint filter. I know. I did a video on that. But I also have the dual resonator delete. And in 4 months of ownership, I look forward to driving this car still every morning. It's always a good time. The biggest gripe was that this car was quiet from the factory, but again, and as I've covered, we all do something with the exhaust, most people that buy this car. And the dual resonator delete was just enough for me. It's how this car should have sounded from the factory. Alright, so that's enough yapping. I hope this camera quality looks good. Let's get into the dealership and I'll try to see what cars we have available so I can kind of walk around while the car is in maintenance and take a look, since we're considering something new for my wife. The CX-90 just is not doing it for us. We probably have to hold on to it for another year, but start plotting our next vehicle now so that way we're ready. I'll be switching over to my phone's camera, which obviously the iPhone 16 is decent, but I don't know how it'll match up to this. See you there. Let's see if they will do my oil today. This is gonna be interesting. Cool, it looks like they took it. So since I'm here, I might as well look at some of the cars, see what they have on stock. Yeah, this reminds me of my old MDX Type S, just a little bit more updated. Nice and spacious. Same chassis, just done Honda style fit and finish. Ooh, those clicks. Wish I had my mic. Yeah, I dig it. This is the black edition. I could see my wife in one of these. I guess for the cost too. I would, but I think she really likes the MDX. Comparably priced, but this is built off of the GM architecture or whatever the Blazer's built off of. I think this car is confused as to what it is. So if you look, Korea, Mexico, China, this is like everything except Japan. The ZDX looks too much like a hearse. I think this roofline, everything looks just right. I can see why these are probably selling more. I mean, obviously the ZDX is more expensive, but from what I understand, this is also selling more than the Blazer, and this is GM's architecture, so way to go, Honda. All right, we're inside the Prologue. The positioning is interesting. Does not feel like MDX. The clicks aren't as pronounced as the recent Honda products, so I don't know. I'm not too impressed, but I do like this interior. I know my wife would because she likes the lighter interiors. All right, I'm in the back seat, sitting behind myself. It's rather spacious. The roofline seems a little, I guess it's fine. Yeah, it's really spacious back here. Actually, I feel like I'm sitting on a park bench. Lots of room. The trunk space from here is minimized. This is not a 3-row. Probably could have been because of all this space in the bench, and how much space I have from the front seats to the back. But they opted to not make this a 3-row. I'm seeing 2 USB-C charging ports, nice storage compartment here, and yeah, it's ventilated. Accessories. Ooh, it's too hot for these. You gotta get those summer shirts out. Where's the tank tops? I think there's more accessories on the other side. Let's go take a look. Throwback SI wallpaper. Nice. Might be time for an update. It'd be nice to actually just have like a EK or like an FD2 or something. Gotta get some short sleeve shirts here. It's too hot for this. I asked for the oil in the Civic so I could see what it looks like, and this is it. Look how dirty that is. The Honda's telling people to wait until the oil indicator gets to 20%, and mine's at 70. No way, man. Yeah, no way. All right, got it back. Oil change is done. No hassle. As you can see, the oil is dirty. And so I'm gonna head home, and that's gonna be it on the back.